Hey guys, welcome to another episode on my channel, and today we are going to be talking about the Sonos version 14.14 and see whether it has rescued the Sonos Arc or the Sonos Beam Gen 2 or the Sonos Ray coupled with the sub when Trueplay is on. Now, as a recap, Trueplay was actually disabling or kind of like mucking around with the sub output for the Sonos soundbars with the advent of 14.12 firmware update. So did the problem get solved with this update? Let's dive in and let's find out. Now, as usual in my channel, I try to give you an upfront summary, and today's upfront summary will require a little bit of insights into Singlish, right? And today's upfront summary is "walao eh." So the meaning of "walao eh," okay, I don't know the direct translation, but literally it means like "come on lah." So the problem was not solved. With 14.14, enabling Trueplay still reduces the sub output when it's paired with a Sonos Beam Gen 2 or the Sonos Arc or even the entry-level Sonos Ray. Now, what I have in front of me is a frequency response sweep, which I have done with a couple of different configurations, but I'll go into that in just a little bit. Now, before we go into the topic proper, I have to explain a little bit about what Trueplay really does. Now, when you do Trueplay on music systems like the Sonos 1s or the Sonos 5s or even the older Play 3s, it actually tunes the music output. It tunes the sound output in relation to your room. So if your room is unnecessarily boosting certain frequencies, Trueplay can pull those frequencies down, or if the room output is being reduced due to certain placement such that certain frequencies need to be boosted, then Trueplay will push those frequencies up. So that is one aspect of Trueplay. Now, when you apply Trueplay, when you perform Trueplay with a home theater setup, so the Sonos Ray or the Sonos Beam Gen 2 or the Sonos Arc, even with the older Play bars or the Play bass, so Trueplay, when it is applied with a home theater setup, it does an extra step. So in the initial part of Trueplay for home theater systems under Sonos, you are required to flip the phone around and stay in your listening position. And when that happens, Trueplay will then play certain tones throughout all your speakers. If you have the surround or the sub paired to your soundbar, it will also fire off the tones from those speakers, and it measures the delay, the time that it takes for the sound to travel from those speakers to where you are. So with that, it calculates the distance quite intelligently by measuring the amount of time it takes to reach your main listening position, and then it tunes the sound. It tunes the sound such that all the speakers, all the sounds will reach your ear at the main listening position at the same time. So this step of Trueplay is not applied when you are tuning Trueplay for sound systems that are not in a home theater setup. So your Sonos 1s or your Sonos 5s, for example. For the purpose of understanding whether Trueplay is doing its job, that part of the work is still done properly. Now, what is missing and what is broken with 14.12 and as well as still broken in 14.14 is the fact that the frequency tuning is not done properly. And for whatever reasons, Sonos has reduced the sub output tremendously with 14.12, and it is still the case in 14.14. Now, the best way to actually show you about this is to actually show you the frequency response sweeps. And instead of just relying on your ears, you can actually go through and step through the frequency response sweeps with me such that you are able to better see and visualize where the changes are instead of just listening to I think or just basing it on your gut feeling. So this video is coming to you maybe a little bit late. I could have done it a day before, but the problem is I participated in the beta testing program, and the beta testing program will not allow me to upgrade to the same firmware versions that you guys are using. So I had to pull myself out of the beta testing program so that I can stand on your side of the field and do the testing as though, this is your particular speaker if you're upgrading to. And the problem with withdrawing from the beta program is that there is a manual human process, right? You have to actually submit that you want to get out of the beta program, and that took about a day to execute. They did claim 1 or 2 business days, but Sonos pulled me out of the program within a day. So from there, I was able to update my version to 14.14. But the problem is when I was trying to update from 14.12 to 14.14, the update process broke a few times, right? And some of the speakers got updated, some didn't. And I will show you, maybe I'll show it here. And you can see that one of the surround speaker, which is a Sonos 5, it wasn't updated. It was still at 14.12. I had to update like 3 times before the entire system got updated to 14.14. Now, right after I applied firmware 14.14, I realized one problem. Sonos did not prompt me to redo the Trueplay. And that is a big hint that they haven't fixed it. With 14.12, Sonos removed the Trueplay profile and insists that you redo Trueplay in order to get the whole system retuned again, right? And because they have changed the sound profile that much, they insist that Trueplay be reapplied. Now, when I updated to 14.14, I was a little bit taken aback because they didn't ask me to redo Trueplay. So the old profile, the old Trueplay profile was still available for me to use. I could still toggle on and off Trueplay without having to redo Trueplay at all. So that was the first warning sign. Now, I explained to you why I think that warning sign panned out because, the truth is, nothing changed. Not much has changed. All right, so let's get to the frequency response sweep. Now, when I do a frequency response sweep, I get the soundbar to fire off every frequency from 20 hertz all the way to 20 kilohertz on the far right of the screen. And this is the response. So basically, it measures the output from the speaker at every single frequency. In an ideal setup, right, it would have been flat. So when you say fire off 20 hertz, it fires off 20 hertz at this volume. If fire off 200 hertz, it fires off 200 hertz at this volume. And the tone that's generated is actually flat. But because of the room, because of the speaker makeup, because of the profiling and the tuning, it actually alters it in a certain way. Now, the red curve that you see right in front of you, this is the frequency response sweep of the Sonos Arc coupled with a sub Gen 3. And this is on version 14.12 without Trueplay applied. Now I'm going to bring up another curve, which is the green curve, which will actually help to summarize what actually happened with 14.12 and what had all of us Sonos users up in arms and trying to fight Sonos for this. Now the green curve is the exact same setup, the Sonos Arc coupled with a sub Gen 3, but with Trueplay turned on. So basically with 14.12, you redo the Trueplay, and when you turn it on, it actually subdues the bass output. Now, this bold line here is 100 hertz. So below 100 hertz, those are the low bass frequencies. And somewhere here, okay, you'll see this is about 150 hertz or so. Can you imagine turning on Trueplay, hoping to get a better sound, but Trueplay takes away the sub output from you? Now, this green curve here is actually not much better, or it's rather similar to the Sonos Arc without the sub in place, right? So basically, 14.12 with Trueplay turned on neutered the sub, and it was as if the sub wasn't there in the first place. So this was the problem with 14.12. Now, we were all hoping that Sonos solves this problem. Sonos has recognized that this is a problem and that there is a bug and they will fix it. But while everybody was expecting 14.14 to solve the problem, it didn't. Now, how so? Let me pull out another curve so you can take a look. So 14.14 is represented by this purple curve here. And this is Trueplay off, right? So Trueplay is not being turned on. And this is the Sonos Arc with the Sonos Arc. Now, I'm going to remove the green line, which is 14.12 on Trueplay, right? So that you get a better idea. So 14.12, red curve without Trueplay, 14.14 blue curve without Trueplay, right? So you can tell that actually there is a slight difference. Really, it seems to suggest that there's a very small drop in the output from version 14.14 as compared to 14.12, and this is without Trueplay. Why did they decide to lower the output any further? I have no idea. I don't like the fact that it's lower, but the truth of the matter is that the change is actually very marginal. So you're not going to be able to tell much of a difference. But because 14.12 reduced the volume output at the lower range of the volume slider, I didn't kind of like this at all. It means to say they possibly even retuned the slider even more. I don't know. I can't tell from here because both I tested at volume slider position 60 out of a scale of 100, right? But that is not the important part. The important part is the next curve that I want to pull out. Now, the next orange curve I'm going to pull out, okay? Now, stay with me here. That will be 14.14 Sonos Arc with a sub-Gen 3 after Trueplay is applied. Now, this Trueplay profile is the old Trueplay profile. That means to say it was done when it was on 14.12, all right? This is the orange curve, right? The orange curve, Trueplay still neutered the sub output. Okay, I'm going to remove 14.12 completely, right? So the blue curve you see is actually 14.14 without Trueplay. Orange curve, 14.14 with Trueplay, although it is the old Trueplay profile. Now, I was wondering, maybe you actually need to fix everything by redoing Trueplay again, right? So that is exactly what I did. Now, when I redid Trueplay, I actually tried Trueplay in a rather standardized space. I walk within a certain area and I try to wave in a certain pattern. Of course, there will be variations and there will be differences between how I did Trueplay last week versus how I did Trueplay the 2 weeks before, right? And today. But okay, it shouldn't differ that much. But if you look at the green curve here, okay, this is 14.14 after Trueplay has been redone and applied. Now, if you look at this curve, it is strange, right? The base output is still gone. I mean, come on. What is wrong with you? Why don't you just increase the base output? But, okay, anything that is above 100 hertz, you'll see that actually the volume has been boosted upwards, all right? So your mid-range and your treble range, it has all been lifted upwards. And this is not an insignificant amount. This is between 2 and 3 decibels, dB, all right? So you will notice that there is a little bit more clarity in the sound in the mid-range as well as the upper register at the high end, at the treble range. Now, what frequency response chart cannot tell you is soundstage, right? Because it measures at a single point using a single mic, okay? And it doesn't allow you to actually tell whether the soundstage is wider or not. It just basically picks up the sound waves from the whole room and aggregates it into that single point. Now, from my listening experience, I actually found the soundstage to be somewhat wider, all right? It seems that the higher frequencies are boosted and fired off a little bit more to the side. So there is a change in 14.4 that's got nothing to do with the sub output, but it does actually open up the soundstage significantly. Now, I'm going to be showing you, or rather letting you listen to a recording of a demo clip from Dolby Laboratories, which will allow you to appreciate and actually visually see, because I've overlaid spectrum analyzers on the demo itself. Now I'm going to pull out a screenshot. Now if you look at this particular screenshot that I'm putting up on screen here, you'll see that at the upper end of the register, there are some frequencies in 14.14 when Trueplay is turned on that actually has a boost in the upper frequencies. Never mind the lower frequencies, because now if we are looking at this particular curve, you'll see that the new Trueplay or the old Trueplay profile on 14.14 actually did nothing to increase the sub output. The sub output needs to be here, okay, at the blue bar, or better, not here, right? So orange or green is 14.14 with Trueplay turned on, right? Whether it's the old Trueplay tune or the new Trueplay tune when done using 14.14, it made no appreciable difference. I mean, sure, there are differences here and there, but I think this can be attributed to differences in the room or differences in how I do Trueplay. But this difference here at the mid-range and the high range is actually noticeable, and you can actually hear it. So I guess in summary, one advantage that is coming out of 14.4 is that the soundstage is sounding quite a bit wider, all right? Although the sub output is still buggy. Now, somebody has suggested that, oh, you need to turn off and reboot your system. I actually did that, right? After I applied 14.4, and this is what I got. If some of you got good results with this, do let me know in the comments section down below. Now, I'm going to leave you with a demonstration. Now, in the demonstration, you can actually play through. The first part of the demonstration is playing the clip without Trueplay. The second part of the clip will play with Trueplay. And when the second part is playing, you will see a spectrum analyzer that represents when Trueplay is turned off, and the second spectrum analyzer will actually show when Trueplay is playing. So you can pause at any point in time during that video to actually see how the sound is actually responding, basically the sound profile at that particular frame, at that particular point in time during the demo. And I think it's a useful tool. Now, if you find these kind of things useful, if you find my work useful, I do have a Patreon account, and I'll probably put the QR code maybe here, and you can scan the QR code, or you can go down to the video description. I'll put a link there. You can actually make a small contribution towards my coffee fund. That will be monthly. Even if you don't, okay, I still do welcome you. So this is more like a goodwill gesture that you can put across to me to show some appreciation for the work. Now, YouTube has also a super thanks feature, which is the button somewhere down there. And if you click on the super thanks, you can actually make a small one-time contribution towards my coffee fund as well, basically to help me along with my work, because I do actually spend quite a bit of time, and it takes up a lot of my energy trying to do all this. My whole house is packed with a lot of things being tested, but never mind that. Don't worry, even if you don't, I welcome you to stay on to the channel. Subscribe is free for you. Like the video is free for you. Drop a comment is free for you as well. Now, you can show me that you have actually stayed this long by leaving a comment down below saying "Walao eh." Okay? Type out these 3 words. It is Singlish for you. It means come on lah. So, "Walao eh, Sonos." Okay? Then I know that you have watched to this part. So I'll leave you with the 2 clips. You can hear for yourself the differences that Trueplay is making to the sound of your Sonos Arc with the sub. Now, I did not have time to do the demo with the Ray nor the Beam Gen 2. I do suppose that the problem are still persisting. So if you know, and if you feel that it is affecting you as well, leave a comment in the comment section below again. And hopefully someone at Sonos is listening. And I do believe that this community is a great community, and it probably helps Sonos to some extent to get a feel of what the ground is thinking. All right, so I will leave you with the demo, and I will see you in the next video.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you with pinpoint accuracy. Whether the soundscape sits the mood of the scene.
Pull your vehicle to the side of the road.
Whoa! What is this place? Whoa! Come on, you guys, let's go!
Or captures the full extent
Do you want to know my secret?
of nature's fury. This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic audio. With powerful moving audio that transcends from channels to moving around you with pinpoint accuracy. Whether the soundscape sits the mood of the scene.
Pull your vehicle to the side of the road.
Whoa! What is this place? Whoa! Come on, you guys, let's go!
Or captures the full extent
Do you want to know my secret?
of nature's fury.